They are looking for me, and there is nothing else I can do but wait until they find me. I'm not going back. Not ever.
The gunfire outside stopped as soon as the message ended. A minute later, a door opened on one side of my room and someone came into it. It closed again. He said something I could hear, but couldn't understand over the sound of blood rushing through my ears. A man spoke slowly with a heavy accent. "We got you," he shouted. "You're done." A moment passed before another voice answered from inside the room. "How many?" "4 dead, 4 injured. You're gonna be next if you don't surrender." "Can we make peace? Can we talk about this?" There were several moments of silence. When the man replied, his words sounded strange, almost slurred, like he'd had too much vodka or that maybe his tongue wasn't working right. "There's no more talking now, brother. Surrender your weapon and come out here where we can see you. We'll bring your wounded friends down to the lobby and take them up to the roof. We've all been drinking since last night, brother." The other voice called out in a slurred tone, "Give me your hand. Come on." My body trembled, my eyes stung with tears as I pressed myself against the wall behind me and held my breath. There was a clang as something metallic hit the floor, followed by a groan of pain. Then footsteps crossed the room above my head, and the door creaked open once again. A short figure entered with his hands raised above him. The small silhouette bent forward until it appeared kneeling on the ground below the window. "Come down here and put your gun on the floor! Slowly. Do not make any sudden movements," he barked into the darkness. I heard what could have only been a pair of boots walking towards my hiding spot, then felt someone place their hand on my shoulder. "I am taking you to meet the commander," it whispered so low that I couldn't hear anything over the sound of blood pounding in my ears. "He wants to know why you did this." I looked at my feet, trying to keep up with the steady pace we took across the building, through another abandoned classroom, past a large supply closet full of mops and brooms, and through an empty music room before finally arriving at another doorway leading outside. The cold air cut like a knife across my face, bringing fresh tears to my eyes and freezing the sweat from every pore in my skin. Another man was standing next to 2 bodies lying side by side against the outer wall of the school's rear entrance. One of them had his chest bandaged from his rib cage all the way down to his stomach, while the other had been shot in the back with a hole just beneath his right collarbone. "Put your gun on the floor," said the same voice I'd heard earlier as he came out of the shadows between the 2 men and threw my own pistol on the ground near my leg. The short figure stood tall as if ready to protect whoever lay beyond the door, but there didn't seem to be any fear or concern written across his face when he saw who my new captor was. "Tell me, what is happening here?" he demanded, turning towards me and waving me closer. "How did this happen?" I wiped the tears away from my cheeks and tried not to look down at the gun resting beside me, wondering what I should do now. If I raised my hands, then I would likely end up with the same injuries these people were receiving. I couldn't allow that to happen, even though I wanted to die more than anything. My mouth went dry. My heart beat wildly inside my chest. But somehow, for some reason, I managed to swallow the bile that threatened to rise up and choke me into unconsciousness. Then I turned towards the body lying on the concrete steps where it appeared they'd taken cover. Their breath rose into white clouds above their heads before being dispersed by the wind rushing through the building's empty halls and broken windows. There was no movement behind them, no sign of life at all. "Who are you?" the short figure asked, leaning forward and studying my face intently. "I'm a soldier," I replied quietly without thinking about my words. "We got ambushed." "Are you Russian? Are you fighting for Donetsk?" he demanded with a sudden sense of urgency in his voice. "Were your friends soldiers with you in Kramatorsk? In Slavyansk too? Have they fought in many battles already?" The questions took me off guard and sent a chill down my spine. Had I said something wrong? Did I give him the impression that my story wasn't true when I didn't want to lie to anyone ever again after what I'd done to the woman on the road outside the village? Or was there another explanation? Maybe he thought I was just another Russian rebel, trying to gain an advantage over their enemies on the battlefield while hiding out from enemy fire in this old schoolhouse somewhere along the front line between us. He stared at me as if he expected me to say yes, but I refused to play along like I knew anything at all. All I could think about was how stupid I felt here talking with a stranger with absolutely nothing but confusion in my mind. Why couldn't they have just killed me and put an end to everything right then and there instead of torturing me like this? Do you know the men who shot the others? I asked back to the man who stood before me. Have they told you what happened? He frowned, glancing around at the bodies and making no effort to hide his disgust at the sight of them. They will tell me whatever I ask them, he replied finally, moving away from me towards the door leading inside. His voice grew louder on the other side, where it sounded almost like he was yelling now. Come in. You must answer for your actions.